Alexandria Ocasio Cortez responded to the Lauren Boebert fondling debacle and had just a spot on take. And it must be so aggravating for AOC to watch all of this play out and know if she got caught doing what Lauren Boebert got caught doing, it would be the top story on Fox News for 125 years. It would be the thing they talk about nonstop forever. And they're not so interested in the Lauren Boebert story. As a reminder of what we're talking about, a clip we've played too many times at this point, she was in a theater watching Beetlejuice, and then of course we'll get to AOC's response, but just context for everybody, and was having herself fondled by her partner, then fondling him back and just having a good old time, public indecency possibly. And she also at points in time was vaping, asked not to, then she kept doing it, was shouting and taking flash photos, and eventually got kicked out of the theater. So here is AOC responding.
All I gotta say is I can't go out to lunch in Florida in my free time, not doing anything, just eating outside, and it's wall-to-wall Fox News coverage. And then you have a member of Congress engaging in sexually lewd acts in a public theater, and they got nothing to say. I danced to Phoenix once in college, and it was like all over the place. But putting on a whole show of their own at Beetlejuice, and there's nothing. I'm just saying be consistent. That's all I'm asking for. Equal treatment. I don't expect it, but come on.
And of course she's exactly right. Can you even imagine if it were AOC in that video? Now your answer might be no, because AOC has higher character than Lauren Boebert. She wouldn't treat theater staff that way, saying, do you know who I am, and flipping them off and bothering her fellow audience members and breaking theater rules. She wouldn't do that, so the answer might be no. But let's say that you could. Fox News' reaction would be off the walls. It would be an explosion. And separate from that, or even beyond that, it would be proof to the right wing or right wing media that the degenerate Democratic Party, as represented by AOC, has led to the end of America. That would be it. Wokeness is going to see to each and every one of your demises. That would be the story. And I have to come back to, there is no equivalent to Lauren Boebert, to Marjorie Greene, Matt Gaetz, Trump on the left. There's no equivalent. So when people try to frame our political conversation as you kind of have equal extremes, and that's why it's great to just split the middle between that, which let me again say before you click off the video, but I'm a moderate. It could be great for you to be if you contextualize it correctly. There is extremism on both sides of the political spectrum out in the world, 100%, because we have a two-sided framework, and within that, a massive country, extremism will pop up on both sides. Absolutely wackos on both sides, yes. But especially in this moment where social media uplifts extremist voices because of the provocative nature of them and algorithms being structured to incentivize that and promote that, we have to, for our political conversation, talk almost exclusively about people in positions of power, because then we know, okay, this isn't just a one-off or some rando getting attention, but they don't actually represent a large part of the population. If someone can make it to a position of power, especially in a democratic society, they have views, the character that they have represents something that a bunch of people have endorsed, a bunch of people have put their vote towards. And so in positions of power, you don't have in this two-sided framework equivalents of, again, the far right of the Republican Party over on the left. You just don't have that. You have different sets of policy positions. You have people who you might perceive as not as thoughtful or a little bit cuckoo on their policy positions and their proposals or whatever, but you don't have the conspiratorial and detached from reality and extreme nature of someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who actively promoted QAnon. or Lauren Boebert, one embarrassing moment after another, and also some just wild views. You don't have that on the left, even if you disagree severely with AOC, for example. In positions of power, the extremism, the rejection of basic facts is exclusively showing up in this far right part of the Republican Party. And then out in the world, you have people who are, I'm a lefty, and they're wacky too, or whatever. And I think remembering that when we look at stories like this is important. Because as we talked about with Mitt Romney, of course we're going to disagree, wildly so. And some of the policies that moderate Republicans push for, I make the case for those being very detrimental to people's lives, but we can at least agree on some foundational things, a basic respect for our Constitution, democracy, and some basic sets of facts, and then move from there and debate it out for sure, and battle it out within our democratic process. But when you start having people like the individuals we talk about in the MAGA part of the GOP on a daily basis, it gets really hard to effectively govern and effectively have those political debates. And I think everyone that's not within that part of the GOP, moderate Republicans, people who consider themselves to be centrist, and individuals anywhere on the left, should be able to agree upon that. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show and get a bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.